My name is James Owen. I'm a mechanical engineer and asset management specialist with Bluefield. I've recently had the opportunity to go and do an audit of a mine site in an overseas location. In that opportunity found some really interesting things, and I thought I'd take the chance to share some of those learnings. I did, by random, an audit of a pallet full of bearings. It was a random selection of stock items in a location. I asked the storeman to provide me with a list of the items. In doing that inspection, I found that the cataloguing process up front was in error, which caused all sorts of problems. So when the mine was built, the first thing they did was took the vendor's recommended spare parts lists and generated stock items. And in doing that, the vendor said bearing upper and bearing lower. So through that process, using the vendor's part numbers, they've catalogued two bearings, a bearing upper and a bearing lower. So on my inspection, these two bearings on this pallet side by side had consecutive stock codes. So the stock number ending in 76 and the next stock code ending in 77 were identical bearings. So they were SKF 32318 bearings. They were sitting on the pallet side by side. They are the exact same item, different stock codes. But on this pallet there were 4 sets of bearings. So that's 8, but there's only 4. So when I did a search on the actual part number, the 32318 bearing, I found that someone had also catalogued the 32318 bearing. So they generated a third stock code to solve the problem of not being able to readily identify the bearing in the first place, because a bearing upper, bearing lower is not a description that anyone can recognise. Just to complicate the problem, the total population in the use for these agitators was 4 sets of agitators. So they'd gone and bought 8 bearings that are identical, plus went and bought another 2 sets of bearings that are identical. So now the total stock on hand is 10, and in reality 2 would have been sufficient. And on this pallet there were other size bearings in the exact same situation. So all up, very simple example, potentially $10,000 to $20,000 worth of duplications in stock. So through the simple process of applying some quality assurance in the warehousing space, where goods are received, they come into stock, they logically undergo a QA check, but through the process there's nothing there to identify, hey, here's an issue guys, what can we do to fix about it? How can we improve the integrity of our stock? How do we enrich the information that's in our catalogue and make sure that the right spares are available at the right time? So this is a simple example of a materials management problem. It's all too common in so many of the sites we go to see. It causes maintenance a problem. Simple fixes, quality master data, quality cataloguing process to help materials management.